Hey guys, welcome back to the main event. I'm Daniel, and tonight we are going back to the NWA for Halloween Havoc 1989. Settling the score. That's what the four gentlemen in this main event plan on doing. Settling the score. Alright, so we're going back to October 28th, 1989. We're at the Philadelphia Civic Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And over 7,000 fans, I believe. And anyway, the main event is a Thunderdome match. With a Thunderdome cage match, full title. Special guest referee, Bruno Sammartino. And it is Great Muta and Terry Funk with Gary Hart in their corner going up against Sting and Ric Flair with Ole Anderson in their corner. Bam. This is a match that I actually did watch. It's one of the rare NWA matches I've actually watched beforehand. Or NWA, WCPW, whatever you want to call it. That I've actually seen before. And I'll be honest with you, I thought it was a joke the first time I watched it. Much like Bunkhouse Stampede, when I watched it for the first time, just thought this was a joke. Just couldn't get into it. However, I did watch the match out of context. I just watched it as a wrestling match. I didn't know the history going into it. I didn't know, the feud or anything like that. So, got to watch it for a second time. We'll see if the review gets a little better. All right. So, we know the build-up at this point. If you guys watched my Great American Bash, analysis / review. Just a continuation of that. These four guys, these two different teams hate each other, and one way to settle it in the Thunderdome. So let's get right to it. Let's get to the match. Now, first of all, for those who don't know what a Thunderdome cage match is, the Thunderdome cage, it's kind of like it's like the Hell in a Cell cage. At least the size. It surrounds the ring. It's not necessarily like a regular cage match where it's on the ring. It actually surrounds it. So there's a good, few feet between the actual ring apron and the cage itself. Not chain link either, like NWA is prone to do. No, they got the bars, the grid, if you will. It still looks flimsy as fuck. It's not as sturdy as the WWF blue bar cage, but still, it's there. No, it's not a dome, which is a personal disappointment for me. The top of the cage is kind of slanted inwards, though, like a prison, if you can imagine that, like a prison fence, just without the barbed wire. And then, of course, what makes this special is the fact that the top part of it is electrified. Presumably, if you climb up this thing, grab a hold of it, you'll just piss your pants and it'll send you flying backwards like Tim in Jurassic Park. So, makes sense. That's that. And then, of course, it's decorated because it's Halloween Havoc, so we got little bats and cobwebs and dead tree branches. Some of them have leaves on them. They catch fire because, electricity. Ropes, chains. There's a noose. There's a fucking noose because, let's face it, anything goes. It's no disqualification. So if you want to fucking hang somebody and just kill them, let's lunch them up right there, string them up, blah, you can, because the only way this match will end is when the designated match terminators. I'm not making this up. That's the name they've given them. The designated match terminators, which is Gary Hart and Ole Anderson. When they realize that, maybe their men just can't take anymore, the only way they can, formally, pull their team out is by throwing the towel in. And of course, both men have already sworn they're not going to do it, no matter what. It just ain't going to happen. So that's the Thunderdome cage match. Man, where to begin with this thing? This is a clusterfuck. I'm not gonna lie. Almost on every level, this is just bad. Okay, let's just get into the first thing that really irritates the fuck out of me. The idea of the match, first of all. The fuck is that? The idea... Yeah, I got neighbors upstairs. The idea of the match itself, to me, is a little ridiculous considering the four men in there, and I'll tell you why. The reason behind an electrified cage, essentially, is to keep them in. Now, this is NWA. All their cage matches are designed to keep you confined to the ring. Escape's not an option. You can't win by escape anyway. You're supposed to pin your opponent in the ring. So the cage itself is supposed to act as like, hey, keep them in there. So this takes it to the next level. They're like, hey, you can't escape. But there's really no one in this match that wants to escape. Like, this to me would be a match you would have if your heel was cowardly and was just trying to get away from, fighting somebody. If you had, like, squash match Sam going up against Vader in the match, and he's just shitting himself, and he's like, fuck this, I'm running out of the cage, then yeah, electronic cage makes sense because guess what? You can't escape. But these four guys clearly hate each other. I mean, you watch the Grand American Bash, dude, that brawl, I mean, that's the entire, like, those post-match interview segments is just, like, interrupted by fighting and brawling. Like, the brawl went all over the place. Funk doesn't even want a title shot anymore. He just wants to kill Flair, and vice versa. Muta is not fucking around with anybody. Muta ain't scared of nobody. He ain't running. And now there's a Sting. It just seems kind of ridiculous that that's the stipulation. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the gimmick of the match. If we're going to put these four guys who don't want to try to escape, who are just trying to kill each other, in a cage match where you can't escape, even if you want to, why would they? The point is, there's no reason that any of these four guys should ever climb that cage. Just logically. There should never be a reason where I'm going to climb the cage. Why would you? Which brings me to my next problem, is that they do climb the cage. For ridiculous reasons. Now I can almost understand if you're fighting a guy, we'll also, suspend my disbelief for a second. You start climbing the cage a little bit to, get some leverage on the guy and drop a fucking elbow and whatever, and he follows you up there. But once again, it's electrified, so you're not going that high. But right off the bat, like, Terry Funk starts climbing it. Like, literally just like, fuck, I'm climbing up here, looking around, ooh. Like, literally right off the bat, he's up there. And then commentator's like, what's he doing up there? So whatever. Fine. So the match goes on. And I'm going to jump around about what pisses me off in this match. And then I'll, so I'm going out order. I'm not hitting this thing in chronological order. So anyways, later on in the match, Muta finally climbs the cage. Him and Stinger climb the cage. And of course, he gets to a certain point, kind of high up there, where he shocked himself, and he's shaking his hand. He's hanging on. He's like, I got shocked. He's selling the electrified thing. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not against gimmick matches. I love gimmick matches. Like, Undertaker, entire career is like gimmick matches, and I love it. Like, every one. I don't care how cheesy it is. Like a Buried Alive match. That's a ridiculous fucking gimmick if you really think about it. Could you imagine if they did that in UFC? Like today, like, if Ken Shamrock and Tito Ortiz, two fucks who are just past their prime, are like, you know what, you are the one guy I just fucking hate. I hate you so much. I don't just want to beat you in the octagon. I want to drag your ass out of the octagon, take you over a few feet, and throw you in a hole and cover you up with dirt. That's how much I hate you. And Dana White would just be like, yeah, let's make this happen. Yes, dude, I'm buying that pay-per-view. I don't even watch UFC, and I would buy that pay-per-view because I want to see someone get buried alive. So I'm okay with the gimmicks. As long as it makes sense with the characters, I'm okay with it. And if they go along with the gimmick, I'm fine with it. Here, Muta's climbed up. I got shocked. I'm like, alright. They're using the gimmick of the match in the match. And that's the way it should be. If you got a gimmick, use it. Okay? Makes sense. But then later on, we get Sting and Terry Funk climbing the cage. Funk goes well beyond where Muta went. Doesn't get shocked. In fact, where the cage starts to bend inwards, like he's climbing into that part, hanging on like monkey bars, not getting shocked at all. Sting follows him up there, same thing, not shocking him. Or maybe it's hurting him so bad, but they're just like fighting through the pain, like, nope, it's shocking me, but god damn it, I want to finish this match, I don't know. So, that, right there, you're just kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? So anyways, that's the first thing that irritated the piss out of me. The fact that they're up there and just no-selling this gimmick that just like, what the fuck? Why even have it if they're clearly not going to do it? Like, it's almost as if Muta was the one that got the memo. Like, Muta and Flair are the one that got the memo. Because, like, Flair never climbed the cage once. And he shouldn't, because why would you? That makes no sense for any of the characters to climb the cage, unless if you're like RVD and you're just going to do some ridiculous stunt off the top. That's the only way you should ever be up there. These four guys really have no business being on the cage. Ever. But whatever. They're trying to make it exciting. The next thing that irritates the fuck out of me with this match is they stress early on, no disqualification. This is a no DQ tag team match. Which it should be, because A, it's in a cage for one, so fuck off the rest of it. But it's like, that's what we want to see. We want to see these four dudes just fucking tear into each other, right? Like, that's what you pay to see. So the thing you got a referee in there is like, alright, whatever. The ref's in there. He's only in there for one reason. To catch one of the towels and be like, yep, this team forfeits, we're done. Call the match off. Other team wins. That's the only thing it should be in there. And even then, I don't think it should be in there. They should literally, the match should literally have just been like a Hell in a Cell, like a legit Hell in a Cell, but maybe like a smaller, like a cage with a roof on it. Four guys beating the fuck out of each other, and then outside you got Bruno sitting there in a chair, and then you got Ole and fucking Gary Hart on either side. And there's no towels. They're just like, hey, I quit. And that's how the match should end. That's when this match should have been booked, right from there. But whatever. We're rolling with it. So, Bruno's in there. And the first thing that just pissed me off right off the bat was he makes two wrestlers get out and get in their respective corners. There's no disqualification. We're going to have tags. And he enforces it. What? And then what's ridiculous is it don't even last. It doesn't last. Eventually, they just throw it out the fucking window because, duh, it's a fucking cage match. It's no holds barred. And yet, you know, he's just like, we're going to try. And, like, he's, like, admonishing people and, like, dude, fuck off. It's a, what the fuck? It's a fucking cage match, fuckface. I apologize for that right now. I did not mean to call Bruno Sammartino a fuckface at all. Like, not even joking. This ain't a joke. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Because Bruno I got all the respect in the world. He's my favorite world champion of all time. He was a champion back when this shit was real. He was legit. Still's legit. Like, dude's probably like 100-something and can kick my ass. Like, he would stomp my ass in record time. So, I'm sorry, Bruno. I did not mean to call you a fuckface. However, it was a fuckface kind of move. I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. And it's not even your fault. It's WCW, clearly, because they suck. So, anyways, just that shit over and over just irritated me. Because it was like, you're watching it, and it's like, just let him go. Like, just there's no reason you should even be in there at all. You should literally just walk outside, snatch up both fucking managers, bring them over to you, and be like, alright, just let me know when you guys decide to throw the towels in, because we're going to sit here all night if we have to, and let them do it. That should have been it, but I don't know. So anyways, let's go on to something else that irritated me. Whoever was in the fucking truck, you know, who's directing this thing, was just a complete ass clown. Like, it happens so much. I'm just going to throw out one example here, but this happened off and on throughout the match. Something crazy is about to happen, something exciting, something cool that you're actually paying attention to, and then the camera will just cut to something that don't even matter that much. And the best example of this is while I think it was Funk and Sting are on top of the cage, somehow surviving electricity, like just thousands of volts of electricity just coursing through their bodies, and they're toughing it out because fuck it, they're awesome. But they're up there fighting, and at one point they're like in the corner, and like Funk's on one side and Sting's on there, and there's a noose, and he grabs the noose, and you can tell right off the bat he's going to Tarzan, you know, around, and then fucking kick him or pinch him or whatever he's going to do. He's going to fucking hit him, right? And he's setting it up, and right there he jumps. And dude, like, the commentators lose their shit. Like, oh my god, look at Sting! But it just cuts to Flair, like, putting Muta in a chin lock. And you're just like, what the fuck? What? And this happens throughout the match. Like, anytime something crazy is about to happen, like, if you're following some action on the outside, and this cuts back inside to nothing. Like, nothing. Like, literally, like someone in an armbar, and you're like, what? They're brawling outside. We're seeing some carnage. Some Thunderdome carnage outside, and I'm stuck in here watching this shit. Same thing right there. And, like, literally, they set the spot up, like, 2 more times of Sting Tarzaning across, and I think you maybe get one good shot of it. Like, every time they do it, it's a weird angle. Like, and then the second time they do it, they try to do it, like, further back, and I don't know. I want to say there's one good shot of Sting doing that. And it's a cool spot. I mean, once again, for what this match is, it's you know, because that's another thing about this match too. Aside from this ridiculous gimmick and no one selling electricity and, you know, everything else I've bitched about so far, it felt like these wrestlers were just wandering around figuring out what to do next, like trying to kill time. That's what it honestly felt like. A lot of times you see the wrestlers kind of walking around, and there's like, we're gonna, let's see what's over here. Oh, hey, I can bang you in this side of the cage now. Oh shit, there's some chains over here. Let's go. It just seemed like they were just so out of it. And just like, I'd expect that if I'm at an indie show, and like literally they're just like, the first time they ever come to a match like this, and they're like, let's just try to see what happens. Let's just throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. But these are like 4 very good pros. Like, this should not be an issue here. And yeah, it just felt like they were all out of place. I mean, you can argue like, hey, that's what it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be out of their environment. They're in a but it's a fucking cage match. Every one of these fuckfaces have been in a cage match. There's nothing different. There's nothing crazy about it, except that it's supposed to be electrified. But guess what? Apparently that's not a big deal either, because no one's feeling it except for Muta. So, it was shit like that irritated me so much. Now, I'm not going to sit there and just completely shit all over this. There were some highlights. There were some good. When they weren't just wandering around aimlessly banging each other's heads into the cage, there was some decent wrestling. There really was. But once again, you're not... For me personally, I don't want to see wrestling in a match like this. I want to see brawling. Like, that's what I want to see, but whatever. Tell you what now, a really good spot, probably the spot of the night, in all honesty, was when Sting... at one point Sting gets tied to the cage. That's kind of cool. Because then Funk goes down and they're tag teaming on Flair, where Sting's fucking tied, to the cage and everything, and Ole has to try to help him out, and, he just can't get the knot undone. And that's kind of a cool spot. Well, I think the spot of the night, or I don't know about the whole night. I've actually seen this pay-per-view all the way through. I was not impressed with the pay-per-view at all either, but whatever. But the spot of the match is literally where Sting just gets himself undone, and he's up on the cage, he's in the corner, and literally he jumps from outside of the cage, or not outside the cage, but outside on the cage, over the ring post, fucking flying clothesline, and hits Muta. It was fucking awesome. Like, as much shit that you have to wade through in this match, that's a cool spot. Like, I popped. I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. It was a minor pop, but it was a pop nonetheless. So, but yeah, that was that. Like, that was pretty much it. Those few points I brought up were okay. The rest of it was just horrible. So the finish comes. Bruno punches Muta out for some reason. I really don't know. I'm honestly not. I'm not just trying to be a smart ass and try and make it funny and cutesy. It's just like the camera cuts to him and he punches him out. So there was probably some shit going on prior to that, but the fuckface in the truck was just like, ooh, I don't know how direct. I can't. WWF doesn't have that problem very often. Now, I'm not saying it's ever, but not very often. All the Rumbles I've seen, the Chamber Eliminations, Battle Royals in general, just whatever. That have a crazy hardcore match where there's multiple opponents and everything. It seems like they're usually on the main focus of the action everywhere they go. And this is the one match that just wasn't. So yeah, I have no idea. I'm assuming Muta was fucking with him, or maybe he was just like, it's no DQ. He was just like, hey, you can't come in here. And Muta's like, yeah, I am. And he's like, nope. And he hit him. Either way, Bruno knocks out Muta, so Muta's outside, and of course Flair locks on the figure 4 on Funk. Now remember, I don't think Funk ever tapped or anything like that, but it doesn't matter if he did or not, because he can only win when the towel's thrown in. So Flair essentially just has this thing locked on until he breaks his legs. Sting goes to the top rope, hits a big splash on top of Funk. I mean, they're just punishing this motherfucker. So Gary Hart decides he's going to run there and stop it, I guess. And before he can get in the ring, he's in there. Ole comes and fucking socks him. He punches him. And guess what? It knocks Gary out of the ring. However, when he falls out of the ring, he accidentally loses control of the towel. It lands on the Bruno. Bruno's like, oh, whose towel? Oh, it's Gary's towel. Oh shit, ring the bell. Flair and Sting win. And then once again, I'm not going to shit on the ending as much because, you gotta have a good reason. The only way that Ole could ever throw that thing in there was if Flair or Sting was, literally in a life or death situation. Literally, if it was a career ending, they got him tied up and they got him chained to the fucking electrified fence and that's just, he's smoking, right? Oh shit, this is going too far, here's the towel. But the heels, they can't show compassion. So I'm okay with the fact that there's some kind of screwy ending, like he didn't really throw it in, but it was knocked out. So I'm okay with that, but at the same time, I'm noticing a lot at the NWA, especially the early days. Like, I understand now the Dusty finish, even though Dusty was not on the books at this point because he's in WWF now. But I understand where it came from because like every time I've watched any NWA match, it's always some kind of wacky screwball finish, and I'm like, at least WWF had for the most part complete finishes. I mean, seriously. There's been more straight finishes, at least on this show, than there has been on the NWA side. There's always some kind of wackiness that's going on with those fuckers. And so this is no exception. I just like, and the bad thing is, I think this is at the end of the feud. Like, I don't think they ever really resolved it beyond this. So, I don't know, kind of, if you want more, I guess. But so anyways, yeah, so let's talk Fallout now. After this, Muta, Sting, and Flair would go on to Starrcade, and they did the Iron Man round robin tournament, where Muta just lost every fucking match. Like he lost to Luger, he lost to I can't remember. He lost to Luger and Flair. I think he lost to Sting by DQ, or maybe he lost to Luger by DQ. I can't remember now, but he lost clean twice, and then he loses the last one to DQ. Luger would beat Sting and then turn around and wrestle to a time limit draw Flair, and then Flair and Sting would face each other in the main event, which we'll get to that at another date. So, alright, so what I think about this match, look, I ain't gonna lie, this match is horrible. I'm sure if I was a kid growing up and watching this, I'd probably have a different outlook right now. I'd be like, no, I'd find justification in it, I'd be like, no, it's alright, it's Thunderdome. It was electric. Just in certain spots it wasn't. I'm sure I would fucking love it. I'd be sucking it off. But unfortunately, I can't. Like, this match is just dreadful. It's unfortunate, too, because that's the thing, like, there's been a few matches on both sides where I would, either I liked it before and I watched it the second time, like, wow, this doesn't really live up to the hype. And then there's been, or live up to my memories. But then there's been other times where I'm like, I remember this match kind of sucking, but it kind of turned out a little better than I remember it. And I was hoping it would go that way, because once again, as I'm watching these in order now, chronological order, viewing them fresh in my mind, every week I'm checking out a few more matches. I get to see, these people evolve, I guess I could say. And, right now, aside from Flair Steamboat, Flair and Funk's a pretty good feud. And I'm like, well, I do remember this match sucking balls, but maybe I was just too much. Like, I was purposely, because all the time I watch these, NWA matches, I was watching my cousin, who was pro-NWA. So I just, would rip on him just because he liked him so much. Like, I was that asshole. Even though WWF could do something equally as stupid, I'd find some justification why that's okay, but this just sucks. So I was like, maybe that's what it was, and maybe I'll watch this and be like, alright, it is bad. And no, it's bad. It really is. It's too gimmicky. And that's the sad thing, too. That's another sad thing, is, Halloween Havoc has, it's the best title for a October pay-per-view. And yet there's not really any good Halloween Havocs. I have yet to find any that are that good. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe by doing this, I'll finally find a couple that's oh, that wasn't bad. That was a good Halloween Havoc. But we're off to a shit start right now, I'll tell you that right now. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know, the match itself is just like I said, you could have done so much more with it. And like I said, now the fact that I'm even more disappointed than I was the first time I watched it, because at least this time I actually had hope. I was actually wanting to see something good, and instead I didn't. So, but yeah, it is what it is. So, all right, guys, let me know, what did you think of Halloween Havoc 1989 main event? Drop those comments down below. You guys are all pro Thunderdome. It's not even a dome. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Tune in tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I will be doing Survivor Series 1989. So yeah, we're finishing up the Halloween pay-per-view. We're going over to the Thanksgiving pay-per-view. So that's what we do here. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.